Welcome to Approachable Parenting. Approachable Parenting is a community interest company that was set up to support Muslim families with parenting issues. We developed in 2007 a program called the 5 Pillars of Parenting program. This program is an evidence-based parenting program and can be found on the Department of Education Commissioning Toolkit. It is the only program at this level for Muslim families within the UK. It was developed by 3 professionals: Dr. Henna Saeed Sabr, a clinical psychologist, Dr. Hannah Hussain, a clinical psychologist, and myself. It's an 8-week program. It's 2 hours per week over the 8 weeks, and parents are asked to come each week for the 2 hours and commit to that time. Parents come back to us and tell us that they've changed, that their character has changed, that their children are telling them that they are more loving, more caring, more understanding. Also some comments from teachers who teach children whose parents have attended the 5 Pillars of Parenting. And those teachers have told us that the pupils are having much better relationships in school, that attendance is higher. We work mainly with Muslim families, but we don't exclude other people who would like to attend. This is a generic parenting course from a psychological perspective, but it links into the Islamic faith, giving examples from Quran, Hadith, Sunnah, all the steps along the way, so parents can see from their religion what are their examples and then become better parents because of this.
Well, I like the idea of the 5 Pillars of Parenting because it has a slight Islamic slant on the parenting skills that you learn, which is very poignant to the perspective that we have.
It's about transferring the skills that we use in our religion to our parenting, isn't it?
Yes.
And part of that is about consistency. If you've got a mother who's saying, right, you need to be in bed by 7, and then dad comes home and says, oh, come on, you can watch TV with me, that is difficult. And parenting is very, very difficult. It's about communicating what people are learning on this course to your spouse, to extended family members who might be living with you, so that everybody can be doing the same thing. Because for a child, it's going to be confusing if mum's saying one thing, dad's saying another. What are the rules? You know, it's not fair on that child, and that's what we need to come back to. How is this affecting our child? I think it's important for the NHS to be looking at small projects like this for niche community groups, because I think experience shows that one size does not fit all. Mainstream parenting programs, in my experience, have not always engaged with not just Muslim families, but with many black and minority ethnic families as well. And I think, although in an ideal world it would be nice to think that everybody could, you know, work together and enrol on programs, that's not happening. And I think it's time that we need to look at why that is. It's not a case of one size fits all, and you have to look at more bespoke programs for particular communities. And I think this program has certainly plugged a gap. We've done these programs in Worcestershire and in Birmingham, and I know you've done them in other places as well, and the results speak for themselves. So in terms of not only retaining parents for the whole duration of the course, but also the fact that the course has been successful in attracting dads onto it, I think has been amazing.
We deliver the 5 Pillars of Parenting program over 8 weeks, and we train up suitably qualified practitioners to deliver those programs. Our trainers gain the PETALS qualification, which is now a recommendation that all professionals working with adults should have within the UK.
what they loved when I came back from the parenting course originally was that we sat down and we did the rules together. And it wasn't just that they had to follow the rules that Mummy said or Daddy said. We all had to follow the same rules, and they were actually, you know, watching out for me if I'd raised my voice or if I'd done something, you know, have I spoken correctly, have I used a kind word, have I used good behaviour, and they took lots of ownership with it because they individually picked the rules. And they actually talk to me more now, because I think there's a respect that's come that was never there before. And they come to me with their problems, they come to me openly and discuss things that have happened, what they're worried about, what they're stressed about.
What was it about the programme that made you think that it would be suitable for commissioning to the parents that we were working with?
Okay. Well, originally my role was as teenage pregnancy champion for Heart of Birmingham PCT, and part of that role was to support different initiatives and groups who were delivering work to vulnerable young people. Part of the teenage pregnancy strategy was around working with young parents and supporting their needs and that of their children. And one of the things that I recognised was that we didn't fund or look to contribute to parents of other cultures or religions or faiths. So particularly for me, your project stood out because you were doing exactly that. You kind of were looking to support young parents and parents with young children from the Muslim community and Muslim faith.
We give home tasks to the parents that come on the course. This is not homework, but it's actually practically doing the skills that they've learned in class, that they've seen role played in class, taking those skills home and practicing within the family.
My name's Rebecca Homer Williams. I'm a mother with 5 children. The eldest is 14 and the youngest is 3. I've got 4 boys and 1 girl. I did attend the parenting programme quite a few months back. I had attended other parenting programmes prior to that. I think it was the most useful programme that I've attended. I live in Birmingham and I don't have any relatives nearby, and very much on my own with a family of 5, coming from a small family of 2 girls myself. There were a lot of questions I had and a lot of help and support that I think as the children were growing up I would have liked to have had. The parenting course came at a time when I think I'd already read a lot on parenting. I had attended other courses, I'd formulated a lot of ideas, and yet it still gave me something. It gave me a chance to reflect on how I managed my family of 5, and how I managed certain characters within my household, and they're all very different. As part of the course I focused on one particular son, and I was able to really improve my relationship with him and to help him a lot, and therefore the whole family.
You know, having a child with behaviour problems is normal. We're all parents. We all go through it. It's not something that's a taboo or that we should be ashamed of. You know, if we don't know how to handle a child and they're not sleeping at night, we shouldn't see it as something we're doing wrong. Just as when we're ill, we don't think twice about going to the doctors to get medication. Sometimes we need to get help for these everyday problems, and it's almost, the group's about busting some of those myths as well, and helping people deal with what really are very normal and everyday situations.
The 5 Pillars of Parenting meet Ofsted Framework 2012 and the Learning Parent Partnership. We specifically meet this as we can engage with parents from the minority ethnic communities, so that schools are better able to engage with these parents.
So it did fit the outcomes which looked around children's growth, that would be emotionally, physically, psychologically, also looking at how you could support parents in putting down boundaries for those children, and how in fact you could help that child to grow and develop and learn, and give parents the skills they need and confidence they need to do that in raising their child.
Sometimes we have great results, wonderful results, and the parents come back and feed back to us what they've done and what went well. But sometimes it doesn't always go to plan. And then we discuss that. What went wrong? How did they do it? What would they do differently the next time? And that experience and sharing that experience gives other parents that are a little bit quieter a chance to share their experiences as well, knowing that not everything goes right all of the time. And we're finding that over the 8 weeks that the parents that are very quiet initially actually gain a lot of confidence and share very personal examples about their own parenting, about their children and the problems they have within the group. And the group becomes very, very supportive. We have lots of examples in our Quran and in our faith and our religion of how to raise children through the best way possible. We know one ayah saying our children are a trust and a reward at the same time. So it is very important for us to look at how we parent our children, so we are gaining rewards from this parenting and actually having the intention. For Muslims, the intention is really, really important, to have the intention to do better and to do things well. The questionnaires were administered pre and post the programme, and then the results were analysed, and this demonstrated a significant change in our parents and our families that have undertaken the 5 Pillars of Parenting programme. We've also developed a new initiative tool to measure social return on investment.
What I really liked about the course is that when we went through the sessions, we were given like homework tasks. So I found myself constantly reflecting every day, every week. I'd go home and say, right, I'm going to try this out now. When we talked about praising, or when we just did a session on listening, I thought, right, I'm going to see if I'm going to implement that. And I found it was actually working.
This course has allowed me to actually allow myself to relax, allow myself to calm down, slow down, and spend some really fun time with my kids. And it's helped them in their confidence, it's helped them in their outlook on life, and I feel that it helps because we've had the Islamic spirituality in with it as well.
This course came along, I heard about it through posters, and Sister Kathleen told me about it, and it fitted in with what I wanted, and especially with the Deen and the Islamic perspective. I want to do something, you know, right for my children,